there? What have we here? A ballad? My, what fun. I like the way they tend to go da-dum, solid and predictable, like Little Harping On, and Little Harping On's where this fluffy tale unfolds. You know the sort of place I mean, it's got a church, it's old, where barber, Argus, trollop sagas and tipsy jams are sold. The sort of little country place that London folk find pretty, so Kirsty helps them find a house at prices that are silly, while Phil diligently searches for a crash pad in the city, near the bars and restaurants that they love. It's here in Little Harping On, the Cartwrights got homey. Their third car was a Land Rover to tow their daughter's pony. They used to vote Conservative, but then they switched to Tony, and blow me, before you knew it, the kids had flown the nest. The Cartwrights watched them graduate, dressed in their Sunday best. Jemima was having babies now, and Rue's at RBS. Predictably, retirement followed. The firm threw Peter due. The chairman made a lovely speech which touched him through and through. Then he and Mrs. Cartwright left to explore new avenues. Their life became as syrupy as a Richard Curtis rom-com. She'd put her in the garden while he'd test drive with his tom-tom and say to neighbours as he passed, "Great bit of kit this, got one." Mere weeks into their reverie, Jemima came to call. "Enjoy your golden handshake, Dad, just don't spend it all. Do you know, when this place is mine, I might take down that wall, get a windmill in the garden, take the place off-grid. Sorry, Mum, what's that? The china? I think we'll just get rid. Oh shit, I'm late for Pilates. Will you mind the kids?" And with that, the yummy mummy went and left her parents reeling. Seconds later, Rue turned up, jabbing at the ceiling. "You want to keep an eye on this? I've got a nasty feeling there might be structural damage here. I won't foot the bill. It's awfully tough at RBS. I only got a mil. Oh yeah, and by the way, old boy, need to see the will. Might need some of my bit now. Could have worked some trick. I've got some poor bitch up the stuff. Need to get her fixed, but not right now. I've got a dash, so maybe fax me it. Oh, and here's the leaflet for the home." He gave his dad a poke. "Your aunt could pack up any day, and she's primed for a stroke. Just promise you'll consider it." And with that, Rue left his face. Peter Cartwright sighed and said, "We knew this day would come, and they call it karma after what we did to Mum. Camilla, pudding, please don't cry, trust me, they'll get none." Behind his specs, his cruel eyes slimmed, he banged his palsy fist. "Yes, darling, fetch that Bollinger, let's get really pissed. Grab that pad of Basil and Bond, let's make a shopping list. Massage tables, exercise bikes, Botox for our faces, suits for me, hats for you, a weekend at the Razors, Golliers, Bolly Follies jolly, let's buy a few more cases. Cottage and Hebrides, shall we get a pub? We could hire an alcoholic chef to make the usual grub and slowly drink the profits of the places boiled up. Let's go trekking in the Andes. Shall we get a boat? I could run for Parliament. I doubt I'll get the votes, but I hear the PR's very dear. Let's at least get a quote." So, Mr. and Mrs. P. Cartwright flashed their reckless streak as branded Luton vans arrived with gadgets and antiques. Expensive hobbies were began, then abandoned in a week. The children's former bedrooms house flutes they never played, plus dusty golf clubs, dinner sets, racing bikes and lathes. You've heard of affluenza, right? Well, this was affluaids, a raging, rampant visa virus they hoped was terminal, though every month their spirits sank when Pete's accountant called to cheerily reassure them they hadn't spent it all. But every time they got depressed and tired of their endeavour, the children phoned them to suggest a little get-together for their lawyers, convincing them they must spend more than ever. And though they tried their utmost, their credit wouldn't taper. The Cartwrights were quite comfortable a year into their caper, until one morning Pete let out a shriek over the paper. "Camilla, look, it says right here, Rue's bank is at the limit. It says it's staffed by nincompoops whose policies are gimmicks. It's going under any day. Hey, let's throw our money in it." An anxious 30 minutes passed, and Pete put down the phone. The broker needed talking round. I didn't like his tone, but eventually he saw sense. "Our legacy is blown." Hours later, the bank went down. The media made a fuss, interviewing blokes like Rue who just said, "Don't blame us, the Treasury should have bailed us out, it's darn ridiculous." As repo men in cheap grey suits went from floor to floor, the Cartwrights clinked their champagne flutes and let off loud guffaws till when the place had emptied out, they shut the kitchen door and walked through Little Harping On for several voiceless hours, stopping every now and then to buy each other flowers, to pick each other flowers, till when the sunset fell on them, they climbed the church's tower. Then shoeless on the battlement, half lit by orange light, Peter and Camilla Cartwright stood as man and wife, till after many minutes there, they stepped into the night. Hold it, folks, don't shed your tears. This wasn't suicide. The old church tower in Harpington is 24 foot high. Those cunning spendthrift baby boomers were only paralysed, and in hospital for decades more the Cartwrights lay quite still, which meant that no one knew if they'd intended to be killed, though Rupert swore they winked at him when he came to pay the bill. Thank you.